Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to JJ's Cryptic Corner. Today we are going to be talking about the bearish case for crypto. I made the bullish case for crypto about 3 weeks ago, and the price has continued to the downside. At the end of that video, I mentioned that I was going to make a bearish case for crypto, so now seems to be the best time to do so. The number one reason I think that Bitcoin has topped is that we are about to close a weekly close below the 50-week moving average, which has not happened since the last top. We closed above it in March of 2023 and have been trading above it ever since. We've wicked below it, but we have not closed below it. Now, it is almost 3 p.m. EST on Sunday, which means there's still, I think, 4 hours because of daylight savings. There's still 4 hours for Bitcoin to have a violent move to the upside and close above this. But for now, it does look like Bitcoin is going to close below the 50-week moving average. Now, the next bearish case line item that we have is Liberation Day. Ever since Liberation Day, the volume on the chart has gone away entirely. It is completely absent. This is the previous bull market, even the bear market. The previous bear market, we had a ton of liquidity, and lo and behold, April 2nd, Liberation Day, suddenly all of the liquidity is dried up. It's gone. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. April 2nd was Liberation Day, and post-Liberation Day, I don't think it's a coincidence that liquidity is completely gone from the charts. Volume is completely gone from the charts. So that is also going to be a big factor, and I don't think tariffs are going anywhere anytime soon for the next 3+ years at the very least. The New York Fed also had a meeting over this past week, allegedly based on liquidity strains for the big banks, and some are speculating insolvency as well. We reached a point in 2021 where the Fed needed to print money, and I don't think we ever left that point. I think the Fed just stopped printing money. So the elephant in the room now is the Fed is not printing money. So what's going to happen? What's going to occur? The next line, the next bearish case item, is this anonymous prediction from the internet from 2023. This gentleman, we discussed this in the bullish case for crypto as well. This gentleman or lady predicted the all-time high to the day, October 6th, 2025, which just so happened to be the exact day that Bitcoin topped out, right around, I believe, $126,000. That just so happened to be 1,064 days from the previous all-time high, which is quite a coincidence. And having said that, we're looking at about 364 days until the cycle bottom, if this is the case. And so far, it seems to be the case. Next, we've got the oversaturation theory. Everyone and their brother insists that there are too many meme coins. And what happened this time around, the reason why altcoins didn't get an altcoin season, and why Bitcoin is kind of petering out and entering a bear market, is because of stuff like pump fun. Everyone was entering all of these meme coins and scams and speculative calls and rug pulls, and they lost all of their money, and now they're gone forever. And that may just be the case. According to the data, roughly 27,000 to 45,000 new tokens are launched on the platform daily, and this is specifically pump fun, illustrating a continuous stream of new, mostly speculative assets. That is a lot of assets. I don't know if it's free to launch. I don't think it is. I do believe that it costs Solana to launch. And I also know that these assets absorb liquidity in a lot of cases. So, and those people aren't, they're not using pump fund to build their bags. They're using pump fund to fund their lifestyle. So there's that. Next is the double top theory. So far, we've topped, on the same line consistently every single bull market. This time around, so far, it's been the exact same thing. Now, people tried to make this argument every single time, and every time it failed. This time, it looks pretty dang accurate. Obviously, only time will tell, but I do keep going back to the 50-week moving average that we're about to close under, because we'd never closed under that and then gotten back above it, as far as I'm aware. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Next, we've got the 4-year cycle. The Bitcoin 4-year cycle does illustrate that we need to top in 2025, and there's only a month and a half remaining in the year. Now, even if we have not topped, not a lot can happen in a month and a half. A month and a half, Bitcoin rebounds. Are alts really going to have a full alt season just within 45 days? Have they in the past? I don't think so. I think alt season in the past has lasted over 300 days. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact that it's over 45 days at the very least. So, 4-year cycle illustrates that Bitcoin may have topped and we may be entering a bear market. Whether or not the bear market is truly minus 78 or so percent from the top, obviously only time will tell. This next bearish case we've got is gold's outperformance of Bitcoin. This seems to be a more recent occurrence, but it is telling of the sentiment in the market. Gold is a safe haven asset. Bitcoin is more speculative. It was programmed, it was created as a safe haven asset, but that does not mean that the public is going to perceive it that way. As of right now, the public perceives cryptocurrency as very speculative and very risky, and we are in a very risk-off environment in between crypto and commodities. Gold right now is reaching all-time highs on a regular basis. I believe it's in the middle of a retracement right now, but it is still outperforming Bitcoin in the grand scheme of the past month or two. So that's another big tell for me. Until cryptocurrency has regulatory clarity, which is also at a standstill because we all know the US government works at a snail pace, and we just experienced the longest government shutdown in history. With regulatory clarity at a standstill, gold continuing to outperform Bitcoin, it's not looking great. And then we've got the China-US trade deal. The China-US trade deal, which happened last month, the end of last month, it's been over like 15, 20 days. No one seems to care. Bitcoin did really well for a short period of time, and then it did absolutely nothing. This post is from October 26th. This gentleman says, China and the US have reached a trade deal after meeting in Asia today. No tariffs, easing export controls, mutual cooperation, giga-bullish news. Now there has been a continuous stream of bullish news ever since this happened. And at the time of this post, you can see here, Bitcoin was at $112,979. Bitcoin is currently sitting below 100K, well below 100K. It's sitting below 95K even. And again, we are about to close below the 50-week moving average for the first time since last bull market, since the last top specifically. Next, we've got the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Continuous, seemingly endless conflict between Russia and the Ukraine. Is this ever going to resolve itself? I'm not sure. This also leads me to think about the conflict in the Middle East between two nations that shall not be named because I'm sorry, I can't be bothered. These never-ending conflicts have always been a thorn in markets' sides. When there's less speculation about these conflicts, it's a lot safer for investments. But the fact that these are always brewing, always burning in the background, and they could flare up at any moment, also leads me to believe that we are entering maybe a possible longer bearish cycle than previously thought possible. And that longer bearish cycle includes no altcoin performance. And then the last item is the global M2 and the S&P 500 dramatically outperforming Bitcoin. Now, this post is obviously a little bit old because at the time Bitcoin was at 116K. Now consider Bitcoin down here at about 95K. It is being dramatically outperformed by the S&P 500. And the S&P 500 is not far off from its all-time highs. The S&P 500 looks great on the weekly. So take that into consideration with the fact that Bitcoin is now sitting down quite dramatically from $116,000. We may have topped. Now, with all of that being said, unfortunately, I personally am of the belief, I do lean more bullish bias. I do, personally. And I'm looking at 2026 for a little Hail Mary. But I also think that I'm about to sneeze. It might go away. Hold on. I feel like I haven't sneezed in like over a year. Okay, I'm good. We're good. So, if Bitcoin did truly top and altcoins are going to do nothing, then I personally believe that altcoins will unfortunately be not relevant during the next cycle. Why would I want to speculate on like the possibility of 1 in 5 altcoins outperforming Bitcoin when I could just buy Bitcoin? Or even stocks. Stocks are doing better than Bitcoin. Why would I even buy Bitcoin? But we're not talking about that. Altcoins, I think, with their massive underperformance, their incredibly underwhelming, lackluster performance this cycle round, if Bitcoin did top and we get no action in 2026, I think altcoins are truly dead. I really do. The altcoins that did perform, contrary to their previous bull market, Solana, BNB, Ethereum, they did make new all-time highs, but those new all-time highs were like less than like 20% from their previous all-time highs, which in stocks, you know, that might be a huge win, but in crypto, that's literally nothing. Imagine buying the top of last bull market. In this bull market, you get your opportunity to cash out in a profit, and that profit is only 20%. That's devastating. And most people won't even be able to take that opportunity because they're going to wait for higher returns, and it's eventually going to, you know, dissipate, and then you have to cash out at a loss again, even though you waited 3 years and nothing happened. So if we go 4+ years and nothing happens, I personally believe altcoins are dead. But again, I am maybe a permeable. I do lean more bullish personally, but I needed to make this bearish case for crypto. I do think that there is a case for both sides. I'm interested to see how everything turns out personally. I think 2026 is going to be the year where we find out for sure. And that may seem like moving the goalposts to you, but I've been talking about 2026 since January of 2025. So if you don't want to go back and reference it, it's not really my problem. If you have a bullish or bearish argument, let it be known in the chat. And if you guys have not yet, or if you are unaware, I stream every single day for the daily close for Bitcoin. It's a ton of fun. Make sure you guys are there. Subscribe, smash the like button. We do a daily giveaway with the daily close contest. It's 10 minutes before the close. It's a ton of fun. And ask in the chat how to play, and there's a chance for you to win up to $300. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out, and I'll see y'all next time.